and welcome back, folks. We have yet another Freljord division match for us today. We have the Credible Hulk and Friends versus Dem Boys. We have watched these guys in the past. Super fun to watch and super interesting to play out and how their team dynamic both goes. Hunter, do you have any takeaways for these two teams?
I'm trying to remember which team plays Yasuo jungle.
That was Team Tempest.
Okay, that's not one of these teams. Notable. But I'm just thinking about it because I know Hulk themselves is the jungler for Credible Hulk and Friends. And I remember seeing some interesting picks out of them. I couldn't remember if that was the Yasuo game or if that was something else. I'm looking forward to seeing if they can bring out any unique drafts or unique strategies coming out of both of these teams. And really seeing what they can do with their specialties, I should say.
Yeah, and we do have picks and bans actually as well. So let's quickly look over what we have for this game.
Absolutely. And as we roll into pick ban and into this pro drafts that we have here, we see something that's really interesting. First of all, we see Ziggs. And I'm going to talk about that later because I like me some Ziggs.
You love your Ziggs.
Yes, I know a lot of Ziggs. Random Ziggs facts, you know? But importantly, if we look at the Dem Boys side, Ryder, who do you think that top laner is?
Soraka? Soraka.
No,
I've seen a lot of Soraka top.
It's not Soraka top, at least according to...
You gotta be kidding me.
No, it's not. It's, it looks like it'll be Leona top lane. Unless the top laner and the support swap roles this game. Which is possible, notably. Until we get into the game, we can't know for sure. But based on what I'm seeing here, it'll be Leona in the top lane facing off against the Shen. I think Shen's okay there because he can block Leona's stun with Spirit's Refuge, but I'm not sure. We'll end up seeing how that ends up working out, should that be the case. If it is Soraka top lane in the Shen, so long as Soraka doesn't get taunted, that is so free. And you're so happy to be playing Soraka top lane against that every single day. Otherwise, we do see Olaf versus Nocturne. Nocturne is going to be really interesting, scaling up, coming in with the Shenald on them too. But there's not a lot of great CC to enable things like Ziggs ulti, other than like cross-map Ash Arrows or Morgana Vines. Just because Nocturne and Shen, well, Nocturne CC allows them to move. And Shen CC is pretty low duration and inconsistent. So it'll be interesting to see how Credible Hulk interact with their comps. Otherwise, I'm really excited to see what goes top lane and how that goes down.
Yeah, I'm super hyped. Should be really interesting. And without further ado, I want to go into game so I can see what's about to go down. Hasagi!
And as we roll in the game here, we do see that I think it's Leona top. She hasn't built her first item yet, but Soraka does have a support item. So we should be seeing Leona come out and his press the attack as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that lane's going to play out. Otherwise, it looks like we might have an invade coming out of Credible Hulk. Or at the very least, they're looking to pick someone if they get a little bit greedy and don't go for the 5-point start.
You know what? The Freljord division has been a huge, just fun games to watch for me, especially as a top lane player myself. You see so many interesting picks and so many different ideas from so many different players, and it has made such a unique dynamic topside.
Yeah, and you've seen exactly as you say, just very interesting top lane matchups coming out in this division, and very creative plays coming out of all of these players. We do see Ignite too on the Leona. I can actually say that Shen with Ignite is pretty viable just based on the way he can still have all the map pressure he needs with his ulti without needing the teleport in lane. It can be pretty brutal if you get ganked early. Shen, however, does take the TP into the Leona's Ignite. So Leona's just going for solo kills. and I have no idea how successful that's going to be. She is a chunky monkey. It's going to be very hard to kill her and trade back into her effectively, but without being able to proc her passive, I really do wonder if she's going to be really able to kill the Shen at all. Otherwise, in the jungle, we see another Olaf. We've talked ad nauseum about Olaf today. Really strong early game, fast, clear. Likes to live life on the edge, taking low HP, more attack speed, and really disgusting mid-jungle 2v2 and the like. Syndra versus Ziggs in the mid lane. Engage coming in top lane, though, actually. Getting a lot of damage.
Does hit level 2, and the press the attack is going to be huge damage for Leona. She does get the first blood. She flashes underneath turret and is possibly going to even live with her life here, but Nocturne is topside. She has to back. She has to get away. I'm not sure if she can. The TP coming out from the Shen here. There's no living as the Leona, but does get the Nocturne flash.
Yeah, I'm surprised she got the Nocturne flash out there, but that's a victory in of itself for her there. Getting the first blood and making the Nocturne come up there really early, interrupting the Nocturne's clear path. Olaf now walking into the Nocturne's jungle and just looking to punish him. No flash on that Nocturne. Olaf too has Ghost and is looking to leverage that perhaps to run some people down. Gonna keep contesting, but Nocturne did hit level 3 off the wave top lane.
Yeah, they're going to be looking for more. They are going to be trying to get the Olaf down, and they do pick him up. This Syndra was there for the roam, but I'm not sure if she's going to be in a good spot for this Ziggs. If Ziggs can have enough mana to bring her back, maybe be able to get a kill here.
Not having the biscuits on the Ziggs there to like pop for the extra mana there hurts a little bit, not being able to get the last Q off and blow the Syndra flash. More trading coming out of the top lane, but now that Shen has some levels, it looks like he might actually be able to take these fights 1v1 really effectively. I'm wondering if the cheese is going to work out, and I really do think the Leona is cheese. It'll scale reasonably well, but with the Ignite, I feel like that just pushes it over the edge from consistent viability to really need to make an unexpected play. Meanwhile, bot lane, we have Ashe Morgana versus Vayne Soraka, and nothing's going to happen there unless Morgana hits a bind. Soraka should be able to keep Vayne healthy, and more trading coming in top lane, and it's not looking good for this Leona anymore. A 25 CS advantage, no, 15 CS advantage, sorry, coming out in the top lane already. Shen's going to keep pushing that too. He's got more map pressure, he's got better dueling.
I don't know if there's a kill potential for Leona. She really has to dodge out everything from Shen here.
Well, here's the opportunity. The minion wave's on Shen.
Yeah, she does have a lot of damage. Does she have the kill? No, she does not. Shen does have that level 5 advantage. Super low still. Amazing play from this Leona. Really, I had low expectations for how well, because I know how well Shen can duel. So I really didn't think she was going to be able to pull this off really well, but she's making me regret my own thoughts.
Yeah, and I really do hope our Shen in the top lane here, as he gets more accustomed to this matchup, I expect him to start taking shorter trades with the Leona, trading around his Spirit's Refuge, ensuring that the Leona doesn't get her second round of cooldowns off, doesn't get 2 stuns off. Because if that happens, I do think Leona can win the fight just off of press the attack damage and being able to nuke him down and do consistent DPS way better than the Shen. Shen's really oriented around getting that 3 auto attack trade, the grasp proc, and not much else.
Yeah, it's going to be super interesting, and I'm really excited to see what she's going to actually itemize here. I'm not sure if it's going to be a Jerome's Fist or if it's going to go right into the Black Cleaver build.
Yeah, and I really hope the auto camp focuses a lot on top lane this game, because it'll be really interesting to see how these fights go.
Ooh, she does get the E here onto the Shen, but the Nocturne's here as an engage tool for the counter onto the Olaf. They are going to be trying to do another engage onto the Nocturne. Leona is super good with these ganks here, getting a huge shutdown onto the Nocturne, and that's going to help her out a lot as well.
Yeah, and just not respecting the Olaf-Leona trades. Olaf already means that pretty much whatever top laner you have up there, you're going to win the 2v2. But Leona is really good early game, especially with her current items, with her current keystones, and she had Ignite up there too. You just can't take fights like that if you're a Nocturne. You have to play around the Olaf, not with him. Especially when your Shen doesn't have taunt up going into that either. Otherwise, in the mid lane, we see a bit of a CS advantage developed for the Syndra. It can be pretty hard for Ziggs in this lane early game, just because champions like Syndra will just walk at you, and then you're like, well, I lose auto attack trades so long as they're extended, because I have lower base AD than her. Her abilities are easier to hit than mine, cost less mana than mine, and she's got Electrocute to my comment. But this is a nice sort of
doing
play.
trade really well. Oh, it does get the Ziggs ult, but not going to be able to land it onto her. You see some trading here top side. Now, Hunter, I wonder, you say you have a lot of Ziggs back. If I just randomly shout out Ziggs back, will you be able to give me one randomly off this fly?
Yeah, sure. You know, did you know Ziggs' passive is reduced by, is a base 12-second cooldown, and it's reduced by 4, 5, or 6 seconds, changing at levels 7, 11, or, what is it? I think it's, you start changing it at 7, 11, and 14 or something like that, and is a 250% extra damage to buildings.
Oh, you better be ready. I'm gonna hit you with random Ziggs back.
Yes. Did you know the center of Ziggs ult does more damage?
So we're gonna see some trading up here top side there. Leona is falling really, really low here. And like you said before, Shen's doing some just short trades. Gonna be able to really poke down Leona and win those nice trades here. And with Dragon being the Ocean, that would be really helpful for whichever team gets it, honestly. Just Ocean Drake early game is super, super helpful.
I realized that I could just click on Ziggs and look these things up, but that is for weaklings. We do
have to engage onto Syndra. They do get the kill onto her as well. They are going to potentially look for the dragon here, and there's not sure if there's going to be even a contest from the Olaf. It's going to be really hard to contest this with the mid laner being down and the bot lane being pushed back.
And we do see, as you said, the rotation onto this dragon should be going Incredible Hulk for the first one here. Nocturne 3-1 now, actually. Sort of sneaking up on me here. This Nocturne's having a really nice game, picking up all of these early kills just across the entire map now. More fighting going on down here. Condemn traded for a binding, but Vayne just trading back, and this Morgana might be in trouble too here. Half HP chunked out onto both of them there. You can't
walk
a lot
of damage out onto
that
Vayne.
Yeah,
and you do see the Nocturne actually roaming down towards bot lane. They are going to be in a lot of trouble. Nocturne going to be blast coning over the wall there. Nice Ash arrow onto the Soraka, onto the Vayne there. They're going to be looking for more. They do get the Soraka, and I believe they should be able to pick up the kill onto the Vayne. Flash from Nocturne, auto attack is going to secure that one as well. Very well executed and well timed by Incredible Hulk and friends.
Yeah, it's great, Gank. They're getting more kills. One going over the Ziggs, and the other one going over the Nocturne again. Now 4-1. Really looking to speed up those probably lethality item completions this game, I'd like to see. Especially when you're this far ahead. You have real potential to just assassinate anyone you get onto. And you have great targets, too, between the Syndra, the Soraka, and maybe even the Vayne. I'm really looking forward to seeing if you can pick up those kills, and something just happened to my client. That was very weird. And it's fixed.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad.
It just tapped out for no reason. I wasn't even touching my PC.
Windows update.
Nope. I better have not. My Windows updates only happen at 3 a.m. in ranked games, please.
No, we do see the traditional trading up top side, and you do see the Leona actually building the Triforce. That Freak would be proud. Extra damage, tons of damage. But the Shen's going to still come out on these trades, especially before the Triforce is built.
Yeah, and now we see Olaf up on the top side, looking to perhaps drop this Rift Herald and get some plates onto this Leona here. Really looking to put her ahead. It's clear that, but we have to...
Oh, we do have the engage, and immediately taken out of the fight. Down goes the Olaf, and the Ziggs ultimate going down as well. They might be able to catch another kill onto the Leona, and they do with the Q. Fade away shot from the Nocturne. And you see bot lane doing some more traditional trading as well. The Ashe is going to be really chunked out because of the Vayne, just Silver Bolts doing tons of damage. And whenever they go in, if Soraka's not being engaged on, Vayne basically has Ocean Soul on her.
Yeah, and that it's worse than Ocean Soul, man. And it's going to get even worse over the course of this game. But doesn't matter, honestly, I think, that the Vayne is getting so far ahead in this lane. The idea here being that the Nocturne will just one-shot the Soraka and or the Vayne. With, like, this, he's 6-1 already. He's so far ahead. And putting so much work and pressure on the map right now that, like, the Soraka has to build his Zhonya's. Like, there's no other way she'll be able to survive the Nocturne burst if it is executed correctly. And from that point, what are you going to do?
Yeah, they do have the Olaf bot lane. The Dragon is going to be coming up in about 1 minute and 30 seconds there. So right now, Olaf is really looking for picks, looking for catches, because right now they're starting to fall slowly behind. So he has to make sure one of his lanes wins this.
Yeah, and really looking to make that lane, well, he has focused a lot on top lane, but now dropping the Rift Herald in the bot lane. Gonna try and give the Vayne some of these plates. But it will only go over to the Olaf. They did make a change to Shelly, I won't say recently, but a few months ago now. Probably maybe 6 months. Oh, quite a while ago now. Either way, now the person who places it automatically gets paid.
There's going to be an engage going on to the Syndra there. She does get the E away, and this Soraka is going to be able to heal her up, but very close call. Sorry, what were you saying about Shelly?
Yeah, so Shelly immediately gives plates to the person who placed it now. You don't have to be in range. Just Shelly hitting the turret is enough to give you the plates. So Olaf did get plates for that turret, even though it didn't look like anyone did. So he did get nice 360 gold coming out there, I believe. 320 gold coming out there.
Yeah, Olaf is running really low there. There's the Nocturne, there's the Ziggs. That's going to be a lot of damage. Hunter, Ziggs fact!
Well, did you know that actually every rank in Ziggs W increases the percentage max HP that it can one-shot a turret from? That's pretty pointless, seeing as late-game Ziggs auto attacks will do about 40% of a turret's HP, and when you're pushing as a team, it doesn't really do much the fact that you can execute at 35% instead of 25%. But you can, even though it's the last ability you max. It's a really weird thing.
That's great. Great knowledge. Knowledge with Hunter.
Did you know that you can one-shot ranged minions with Ziggs if you take Minion Dematerializer with just a Q at level 9? That's why you really do want to see the Ziggs pick up Minion Dematerializer. Otherwise, they're incredibly reliant on having the Luden's proc up or 2 abilities to actually one-shot ranged minions.
We're gonna need to give you your own Koner.
I'm gonna run out of facts about Ziggs. He's a pretty simple champion.
I'm sure you always have more. I'm not gonna count you out quite yet, but we'll see how long this game goes and how many Ziggs facts we can get.
I'm gonna pull up the league wiki page. Otherwise, across the map here, we see that bot lane CS advantage is ballooning to actually, like, exorbitant numbers at this point here. Vayne with nearly 50 CS advantage already coming in down there. Nocturne hovering mid lane, looking to see if he can get a kill on the Syndra. Going in under the turret,
and the Ziggs ulti coming out. Big brain himself.
That is just not a... What do you do? What do you do if you're Syndra there? Everyone needs his Zhonya's. Like, Olaf and Leona might be able to just be raw tanky enough, but the Vayne, the Syndra, and the Soraka all need some way to survive these Nocturne ganks.
You do see the Morgana actually being condemned into the wall and getting picked off by the Vayne Soraka as well. Pure damage coming out from the bot lane is going to be really helpful for them. And I think that's going to be their win clause this game. That's definitely going to be the lane that you really want to focus on, and the lane that you really want to try and get ahead after the 6-1 Nocturne and the 3-0 Ziggs comes roaming down.
Yeah, absolutely there. The Vayne already managing a 25 or a 2,000. The Vayne has 1,250 more gold than the Ashe. That's what I've been trying to say. And that's quite a lot, too. That's like nearly an entire BF sword advantage coming in for this Vayne right now. Even though she's not building the BF sword, but just the completion cost of Holk is going to come in really fast for her. She's going to be able to pick that up once she backs, I believe. Yes, she will.
Leona's going to be engaged on here by the Nocturne, by the Shen, and the Shen's going to be ulting down onto the Nocturne, but Leona canceling that with her E on the back fadeaway. There's going to be an ulti from the Syndra to take out the Nocturne, but the Shen still wants more, gets a nice double kill onto the Leona, onto the Syndra, and that's going to be really good for Incredible Hulk and friends.
Big damage, too, coming out from the ulti from the Ziggs in the mid lane, just able to essentially pseudo roam with his team in the same way a Gangplank can, without ever having to leave the lane. Much worse than Gangplank ulti, I won't lie. Oh, and instantly blows the flash on the Ashe there. Terrified of this Olaf, with good reason. Even though he's 0 and 3, it is still an Olaf, and he's still going to be super powerful.
Here comes the Olaf. He's going to be going right around the corner into the Shen, into the Ziggs there, but he is not going to be tanky enough to really take them on. Soraka's there as she does heal him up, and he's gonna be safe now. And Hunter, I didn't quite realize this, but we do see Infernal Dragon coming up again, and it is the Infernal Rift once more.
Wow, that's really impressive, Ryder. Did you know this is the 5th Infernal Rift of the day?
it's like every game has been an Infernal Rift.
It literally has, yes. It's actually really interesting that we've rolled like this thus far. Coincidental, I'd imagine. I don't know if we can actually... Oh,
whoa, Ziggs back!
Oh, did you know that Ziggs' ulti travel time is partly based on distance, based on also the addition of a flat value? Meaning, if he throws it right in front of him, it'll still take some time to get there. But it's not the same as Nami Bubble, which is actually the exact same time to travel no matter where you throw it.
Fun fact. And on top of that, they do get the kill onto the Leona. They do get that second tier turret with the Shelly here, and they're looking for another proc. Hopefully, doing a lot of damage to open up this base is going to be really nice, but I think the Shelly is going to be falling down over, and they're just going to do another reset, actually. So that's going to be really good for them.
More resets.
More
spending.
resets.
Ziggs' ulti damage, though, right now is actually getting pretty out of control, especially against these champions that have no magic resist, like everyone, except for maybe Leona. She has a no magic now, but that ain't going to do her too much good against the Ziggs. Does look to be working towards the Aegis of the Legion and then in turn the Death Stance on Leona, but that's just, this game is probably going to be over before that happens. We have our Infernal Soul point spawning for the side of Credible Hulk and friends right now, and it looks like they're posturing to take it. We'll pick up their 3rd dragon of the game here if they can grab it successfully. And just well on their way to winning this game. Ziggs picking up blue buff. Just a reminder to all you junglers out there, especially if you're playing competitive, give blue buff to your mid laners. Especially when they're spammers like Ziggs or Orianna. And yeah, just 3rd dragon going over to Credible Hulk. They're happy.
That's still a point. Still a point. And it's really hard to really contest this team right now. They've really gotten a hold of this game and have slowly been making their ways into the Nexus. And it's only going to get harder and harder for them. And Ziggs back!
Did you know that I'm running out of Ziggs facts? That Arcanus Ziggs is the best skin in the game. Fight me.
So we're going to have another engage here. We do have the Nocturne engaging. Did the engage onto the Syndra, and then the Ziggs blowing it up with his ultimate. They are going to be looking for more. They are running very, very low. Down goes the Soraka. Down goes the Leona. Down goes the enemy team here, and that's going to be an ace on the side of for Incredible Hulk and friends.
Yeah, and this is really, I don't know. This game's gonna end pretty soon here, I would say. We do see Incredible Hulk and friends working on breaking the base right here. They don't even have Baron yet, and they should be able to do it pretty effectively. Syndra's got to look for an interesting pickoff, and that's it. But she gets
They're going
tagged
to
by
be
all the
engaged
three.
on, and then the Ziggs with another ultimate. I'm not sure if you have another Ziggs fact, my friend.
Did you know that the AP ratio changes based on whether you're in the center or not? Did you know that's obvious?
Yes.
Either way, though, did you know you shouldn't really try and auto-attack people as Ziggs in team fights unless they walk into you? Because you're a long-range mage? Even though you have a passive that benefits auto-attacking? I'm running out of Ziggs facts, man.
I was only gonna do Ziggs facts every time Ziggs got like a kill with his ultimate, and not anticipating how many kills he would get with his ultimate.
This Ziggs is rolling, if you will.
Oh, he is.
These bombs
8-0.
don't roll. Did you know? They're actually bouncing bombs. Alright, enough about Ziggs here. We do see... I don't know what to say about this strategy of this game right now. Really, if you're Incredible Hulk and friends, you just want to be picking up Baron or Infernal Soul here and pushing down the base really effectively. And just ending the game here. If you're on the side of Dem Boys, what can you do to come back in this game? Well, Vane's still really strong. Soraka's a nutty champion. And then you have two other champions have CC. And then you have an Olaf. And I honestly don't know. Vayne needs to find a bunch of 1v1s around the map to win this game. And Soraka needs to put in like a hero performance, but that's not really mechanically driven. Even if this Soraka's the last person to die in every fight, I'm pretty sure she can't heal enough to really do anything this game, especially with Ziggs having the Morello already. And the Ashe on the other side isn't going to be a slouch either. The Nocturne's super far ahead and is going to be able to blow up practically whoever he wants. And Shen just can ulti whatever needs to be saved if you go for the 1v1 with the Vayne. And that might be enough to turn almost all of those 1v1s in favor. I guess the bright side here is Vayne should be able to 1v1 Ashe even with Shen ult. Vayne will be able to 1v1 Ziggs. Because Ziggs is, like, so long as you dodge the skill shots, which is really easy with an ulted Vayne. And can kite the Shen. And I don't know what happens between her and Nocturne. But I'm going to say, for argument's sake, Vayne can win the 1v1 against Nocturne too. Which means if you can put her in the position to get those 1v1s without losing the entire map in response, you have an opportunity. We do see
you're
the
gonna
Baron
see Incredible Hulk and friends actually starting up the Baron. I don't think they're gonna be able to rotate fast enough. They do chunk it down really quickly here with the Ashe, with the Nocturne, and now even with his big Zelt doing that nice damage over to the Baron here. Here comes Olaf. He might go for a steal. He is going to be going into the pit there and is going to fall down to the Ashe. The Ashe arrow going out onto the Leona. The Nocturne does have GA. He just falls down to that. Does pick up the Baron as well. And
But
now
Vayne's
all
rolling.
of them are all falling down. There's the Vayne. She's going to be able to kill multiple members of the enemy team. Is going to get the triple here. And that's going to be a huge win. They did keep the Baron onto the Nocturne. But was it worth it?
No. No, it wasn't. That Vayne got how many shutdowns there? She got at least 1,000 gold onto the Ziggs. Plus another, Syndra got 300 onto the Shen.
But she found a Nocturne. Is it going to be, the Soraka needs to heal it, but is not in range there. And Nocturne's just going to blow her up.
Yeah, and that's really unfortunate there. And now this means that the Infernal Soul will be secured for Incredible Hulk. But that doesn't matter. Vayne didn't get hit that fight. That was the issue. So it doesn't matter if you have more damage.
And just going to be looking for a pick here. And then there's the Shen, and he's going immediately onto the Syndra. This is going to be a 2-for-3 fight here. And I'm not sure if they're going to have the rest of the team be able to rotate fast enough. The Nocturne does have his ulti very soon.
Nocturne ulti is up, can look for the execute onto this Soraka if he needs to.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to
main-
get onto Soraka with the Leona there now.
Vayne picking up the triple kill in that fight, I think. Across the entire fight, they're going from 1 and 3 to 4 and 3 there, and just picks up a lot of gold actually. And I don't know where she's spending it because she only managed to pick up the Zeal there. Must have spent all of her gold going into that team fight. But it doesn't matter. The Phantom Dancer will be completed pretty soon. 1k in inventory for the Vayne right now. Olaf gonna
Big
die.
damage
Here.
going down. Hunter,
Infernal.
do you have a Ziggs fact?
My Ziggs fact of the day is he's good with Infernal.
So here goes Nocturne. He's going in onto the Leona, onto the Cinder there. They do get the Infernal Soul, doing that extra damage. The Blast Bone over the wall. The Ash Arrow not quite connecting. The Cinder is going to be able to pick off the Nocturne, but the Morgana is going to be able to pick off the Syndra here.
Do you know what a really interesting Ziggs fact is?
What's that?
He can't actually knock himself up with his W while he is grounded, rooted, binded, or any other form of CC. But he can still cast it, unlike other movement abilities. It's really annoying playing against Casio. Because you put your W down and then the ground hits you while it's in midair and you want to activate it. So either you have to walk away from your knockback and die, or you just die either way.
You die or you die.
You die or you waste your W and die. And it's really obnoxious too.
Fun facts.
Fun facts. Did you know I play more Corki than Ziggs? Because Ziggs is hard to play and Corki is not?
Are we gonna get a feature Corki fact game in the future?
There aren't any. Did you know Corki's package spawns at 8 minutes? That's the only
Fun
fact
fact.
you need to know about him.
Nocturne ulting onto the Cinder there. She is going to be able to get the stun, and the Ziggs does land the ultimate as well. We are running low on the Ziggs fact, but Ziggs does get the other kill with his ultimate. Is going to be trying to pick off the Olaf. They do have the Nocturne here. They can't get the fear off, but the Ziggs does get the kill. That was a lot of damage coming out from him. He is 11-1 now with 10 assists. He is a monster this game, really performing, and I'm pretty sure he's making Hunter very proud.
Yeah, I love Ziggs. Sitting on 565 AP now too. Really just the damage backbone of his team. Nocturne's doing a fair bit as well, but you can't do much when this Ziggs bomb just hits you and does 55% of your HP. Holy cow!
Whoa! Down goes Soraka to the Ziggs ulti once again. It's had such a low cooldown, and he's just looking for more, looking to end the game potentially here. He is going to be taking out these turrets really quickly, and I'm not sure if anyone can really answer to Credible Hulk and friends right now. They're going to be looking for more. They're going to destroy that other turret. They're going to try and destroy more. It's getting a nice ulti off. Ash is going to be able to kill the Vayne, and there's that looks to be the game here actually. So great performance coming out from Credible Hulk and friends, and really great job, really fun Leona game from them boys here.
Alright, and as we wrap up the game here, 30 minutes pretty much on the dot here for Credible Hulk and friends as they take down the Nexus. Really powerful snowballing coming out of them. Despite the Ziggs being the person with all the kills at the end of the game, it's really thanks to Hulk, the main player of this team, on the Nocturne, who got them all ahead. Bunch of kills on the Nocturne early game, playing around the map everywhere, and despite a bit of a fumble in the top lane, aside from that, just really good play throughout the entire early game, setting up his team to win.
Yeah, very well executed. And Hunter, what do you say for MVP and Ace? I feel like I know who the MVP is.
No,
though.
actually you don't. It's I have
Really?
to give it to Hulk here, because the Ziggs would not have got ahead without Hulk setting up this entire game. And even though the Nocturne fell off, it's not the hardest thing in the world to be an 8-0 Ziggs and throw bombs at people. Sorry, I love Ziggs. I love playing Ziggs. And honestly, you did play really well this game. But it's really, Hulk did such a good job setting up. this entire early game on the Nocturne, and on a Nocturne too. Someone that should not be able to get these early advantages and set up these games for success. They did what they needed to, and from that point on, their job's done. They played team fights well enough. They got really good picks with the ultis when needed, and that's it. It doesn't need to be anything more than that when you do that good in early game. As far as Ace is concerned, the entire side of Dem Boys put forth the best performance I think they reasonably could after that early game. I mean, the MVP has to go over to the Vayne here, though because we didn't watch the entire laning phase, maybe it should go over to the Soraka. I don't know who was winning that lane. Probably a team effort more than anything in that bot side. But I'll give the ace to Vayne here. Massive still finishes the game 100 CS up on their opposing member. And 4 and 5, whereas the rest of the team had quite poor experiences in the KDA department this game. Doing what they can, tried to carry, did almost carry one of those team fights. I want to see more of that out of them, really. More of this top tier play.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on all those facts there. And when we get back here, folks, we're going into the final match of the day between Dem Boys and Incredible Hulk and Friends. Hello and welcome back, folks. This is going to be the final game of the day between Dem Boys and Credible Hulk and friends. Last game was a really fun, interesting matchup, and you saw a lot of great Ziggs facts and a lot of great Ziggs play with a lot of good Nocturne engages and really helping his team snowball into the later stages of the game here. Hunter, what do you think for like takeaways from last game, and what do you think will be you'll see into the next game?
Absolutely. After our last game between Incredible Hulk and them boys, we saw really impressive takeover, essentially, of the early game by the Nocturne jungle, getting a bunch of kills in lanes where people were just not prepared for the Nocturne gank. And I really think if you're them boys, you can't give ganks and kills over that easily to someone like Nocturne. I think it really did blow up a little bit. We didn't talk about it too much after the point in the first game, but the Olaf invade level 2 into the level 3 Nocturne really hurt the game there because the kill goes over onto the Nocturne, taking down the Olaf, shutting down the Olaf's early dominance a little bit, and then the Syndra has to TP back in the lane, loses a lot of lane pressure into the Ziggs, and that can be really, really problematic in matchups like that. And from there, Nocturne continued to snowball the game and just looked really impressive.
Yeah, very well said. Now let's quickly look over our picks and bans. Let's go over to our pro drafts here. What do you think we are gonna expect this game?
Um, well, we do see really actually quite unique picks. We don't see champions like Lucian, Swain, or Malphite come out very often, especially not recently. I've seen a little bit of Lucian and Malphite in the past, and maybe one Swain game. But this is new for the last few weeks here, as these picks, versus it pretty similarly new. We don't see too much Brand. We've seen it a couple times, and Jarvan's surprisingly absent uh, in a lot more of my games, of these games, than you would expect, at least the ones that I've had the opportunity to cast. So it's interesting to see these common, like, you know what these champions do, but it's interesting to see them put into the drafts the way they have been. I'm curious to see how the Credible Hulk draft plays out. I don't know how the Swain, Malphite, Lucian's team fighting sort of goes. Plus the Rek'Sai there for Hulk himself, a strong early game jungler looking to snowball and get advantages. And maybe just run down this game, essentially. Dem Boys, on the other hand, running just a really standard 5 versus 5 team comp. Please, fingers crossed that is attack speed Boris this game. Really important with a team comp like the one they have to have consistent damage coming out of the back line. And if you're playing Poke Varus here, I just don't see the reason in picking Jarvan, Maokai, and Malzahar and just all this wave clear and team fighting. It looks like they really want to put a lot of the power into this bot lane. And their bot lane was really impressive last game, so I think they're justified to do so.
Yeah, super excited to see these teams. I really enjoy a good Malphite game. And without further ado, let's jump right on into game here, folks, and talk about lane matchups.
Absolutely, and as we get into game here, we do see in the top lane, it is Malphite versus Maokai. I think they're
Really
going to
a
hit each
battle of
other a little bit.
elements.
Yeah, it is. Is rock versus tree. Tree grows on rock, so I don't know who wins. It seems symbiotic. Otherwise, it should be interesting in top lane, just them hitting each other a little bit. Jarvan and Rek'Sai will be together. See an invade coming out here.
Yeah, I don't think anything's gonna really come of that. The Morgana bind didn't quite land through. The Swain Q didn't really go through either, or E rather, I believe. And they weren't able to grab the pick, and then they responded back to this with the Brand over the wall with his W. Good damage, and just gonna be back to traditional laning.
Yeah, really just working on just getting early game advantages. I don't think any summoners were blown there. Otherwise, just working on it. Either way, in the jungle. I'm sorry, I'm dealing with a sync issue here. But we do have Rek'Sai versus Jarvan in the jungle, trying to just... They're both really aggressive early pressure junglers. Seeing what they can do in this game should be interesting. Otherwise, Swain and the Malzahar mid lane should be able to put pressure on each other. Both of them are pretty high wave clear dependence, but with the Swain actually being able to connect his E onto the Malzahar here, he might be able to put down quite a bit of poke while the...
Yeah, they do have a nice damage onto the Brand. He does actually have to flash and heal away here. Very close to getting a kill there. One more auto attack and he was going to be falling down. Really beautiful Morgana bind, but wasn't able to quite land the kill. And now we're seeing topside they engage. From mid lane, you're going to see some nice trading going down as well. It's going to be a high energy game, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, and as I just... Sorry about that, guys. My when I loaded into my client, you normally have the game... We have the game preloaded for us at like 4 seconds, and I loaded in, the Nexus exploded. It was very weird.
Quick victory!
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but it was interesting. Either way, now I am back. Syncing issues are fixed. And I can actually talk without having 3 things on my mind at once. So, as you said, we see a lot of damage coming down in that bot lane. Heal and Flash being burnt already. Brand down the Flash. But still, a lot of damage has come out onto the Lucian, and he's not going to have a very easy time getting into these trades at this point. Might actually be a winning lane for the Varus Brand from this point on, despite the Summoner spell discrepancy. Otherwise, this bot lane's not looking good for the Lucian, as I said. More fighting in the mid lane. The Rek'Sai just dodging out on the Flag Drag combo. Brand getting some deep wards in the Tri-Brush here, making sure that Rek'Sai will not be able to come bot side. Rek'Sai takes the top Scuttle Crab here. They're just working around the map. Mid lane is just gonna be a really boring lane, probably. It's on Swain to make something happen, but as with most Malzahar lanes, he just wants to wave clear as much as possible. I think Swain will have enough mana sustain to be fine in the early game, while Malzahar, as you can see right now, is gonna run out of mana pretty quickly. Otherwise, honestly, this early game's pretty boring aside from bot lane. It's really going to be dependent on bot lane skirmishes and jungle ganks to make things happen. Scaling into mid game, though, is when these team fights start getting really unique. We have 2 really heavy, dedicated team fight comps playing against each other, and it'll be interesting to see how they both flash. It's really too hard for me to tell right now which team will have a massive advantage, because I think it really comes down to advantage in the early game.
Yeah, we're going to see the flash come out from Jarvan, almost falling down to the Swain, falling down to the Rek'Sai. Swain actually going in for the first blood, does pick up the kill, and he might not live with his life, though. Is he going to be able to get a double? He does get the double. Big victory on this side of Credible Hulk and friends here.
Yeah, and the heal coming in off the Swain passive there, enough to save him. Really just so close there to getting the kill there, and I think the Jarvan could have been better served to wait until his combo was up, or at the very least until the Q was up to secure the kill there, and maybe would have been able to get away with it without losing his life. But the Swain now 2-0, and this bodes poorly for teamfight phase already for Bois.
Yeah, we saw last game Winged Nation being like a huge carry potential individual as well, so seeing him get those first 2 early kills is going to be really interesting to watch how he plays it out for the rest of the game.
Yeah, going a bit over aggressive onto the Malzahar there. If he did connect the E there, I don't know what Swain's abilities are called actually, other than his primary, his Q. But almost connecting the Nevermore, the E there, onto the Malzahar. If he had connected that, that would have been a really good trade. But without it, Swain's a pretty useless champion, and that's sort of how Swain works in general, at least in the lane phase, is you really rely on hitting this Never move.
Oh, here comes the ultimate from Swain. He is very powerful right now, is going to explode and fade away and get the kill onto the Malzahar. Solo kill going over to the side of Credible Hulk and friends.
Yeah, and that's just... It's gonna be a problem now. Malzahar looks like he's not gonna be able to wave clear through this lane, at least not yet. And the Swain's gonna keep snowballing. He might even be able to get some roam pressure, which is not something I normally think of Swain mids for. I mostly think of them just dominating lane and getting turret plates like this. More trading coming in the top lane. Malphite shoved into turret there. This might be a kill for the Maokai.
He is going to be quite engaging, but the Malphite is going to be ulting, but into the Maokai ultimate again. Maokai's going to try and get a flash, trying to get another engage with his Q root, and then not quite enough damage there. Very close. Malphite almost following, but not able to fall down to the Maokai.
Never seen Maokai ulti root someone twice. That was really actually a weird interaction that I didn't know existed. And I'm actually obviously the Malphite also did not know that existed because he almost got caught off guard and died for it. I don't think it applies damage twice at least, but we do see the Malphite forced to burn ulti and TP to get back to the lane here. Maokai flashes, was not able to pick up the kill for it.
Yeah, you see Rek'Sai in the bot lane doing some nice damage onto the Varus, but unable to connect the kill either here. Very close. All the laners are running pretty low, so something to really watch for our junglers this game.
Yeah, and the junglers really are going to be the key points of interest. It looks like, even with the Swain now, the Malzahar is sort of stabilized. Swain shouldn't be able to get too much in the way of more kills in this lane solo, especially once Malzahar starts picking up things like his Lost Chapter and eventually his Ludens. He should just be able to infinitely wave clear as Malzahars are wont to do.
Ooh, big damage coming out from the Varus onto the Brandon. Is it going to be enough? It is enough that the Varus is going to pick up the kill on Morgana.
Yeah, and even the Lucian almost getting one shot there too. Just not able to dodge the Boris ulti there and laid on the Black Shield, and it costs both of them their entire HP bar. Across the map here, we do see in the top lane, farm is pretty even overall. A 10 CS advantage for the Maokai right now, and it is pushing into him, so it's actually a little larger than that. But that's mostly based on the Malphite having the back earlier. Malphite maxing Q2, not something I'm personally a fan of because of how much mana it costs. It forces you to go into this sort of Catalyst build, into the Abyssal, but more fighting.
Yeah, more fighting coming out topside here. Not able to get the double root this time, but is going to have a nice skirmish here topside. I don't think, yeah, on the note of the Q and the W on the Malphite there, because I know W would be really good because you get that extra armor, especially if you go Grasp, and it's a really good trading and dueling tool. You can get your mana flow procs with the your E as well. Here goes the engage. There's the rock going in with the ultimate, going to be locking down the Maokai, and the Rek'Sai is going to be picking up the kill.
Yeah, just a little bit of insight for our viewers here. I think it's worth noting that me and Ryder both play a lot of Malphite, a little bit more than both of us should probably, and we both fight really hard on what skill order we should go.
Yeah, I'm always a huge fan of Q, especially into squish tier targets, and especially into the Comet. That's one of my favorite builds to go onto Malphite because the utter damage you can really produce and the additional AP is really helpful into securing kills and locking people down.
And I like being a tank, so I max W. Either way, Malphite debates aside, we do see the Q max, it looks like, coming out of the Malphite up there. Lots of damage going down onto the Maokai, lots of poke coming out from that in particular. And it will delay his... Oh, and the Boris Snipe actually comes out there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was going to be able to get the kill there, but it does make the Morgana pop off the map and does get the kill onto her as well. So this Varus is going to be doing extremely well this game. We're going to see that he is going to be going the...
Hey, yeah, you know
lethality build.
That's why I got the kill, because it's lethality. That's not a validation of it, that's just a fact. All right, so we do see Lethality Varus here, and the Varus is 2-0. I feel like even though technically that Varus Q may not have killed the Morgana without the lethality, I feel like the Varus would still be pretty far ahead in this lane regardless.
We're gonna get the Gauge going down onto the Swain there, but then you are stuck in the cage with the Swain ulti. There's no escaping, and the healing coming off is gonna be huge. Malphite gonna be coming down for a roam and getting a kill onto the Malzahar again, and then you just see Credible Hulk and friends coming out on top once more.
So, sorry, as I was saying before, that absolutely ridiculous amount of damage came out of the Swain and Rek'Sai there. You are the carry on your team if you're this Varus. You're the only chance to win at this point in time, because even if Maokai got like 100 CS advantage, that wouldn't do anything. He's Maokai. And mid jungle is going very, very poorly. More kills coming in. Malzahar TP's in, but he will die for this.
Gonna fall down to the utter damage from the Swain, from the Rek'Sai, from the Lucian, and then you have the Morgana as well doing incredible damage. Trade happening top side here. Malphite not gonna be doing enough damage. I'm pretty sure Maokai wins these trades.
Maokai is low on mana though.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to get the kill, but he definitely did win the trade.
Watch for the flash Maokai Q. If he has enough mana for one ability.
He's gonna get the Malphite ulti underneath turret, and you have one, they have two. Oh. He is so low, there is three! Down goes the tree!
Yeah, and the Malphite there picking his moment really wisely, but Varus too now at risk of the Swain. Will get away just barely here from the never move. Swain being chased down by the Brand now, looking for the stun, will flash, will dodge the stun thanks to Nimbus Cloak. More fighting going on down there in the bot side. The Swain will give a Dark Harvest proc over to the Brand. So the real issue with Lethality Varus here, it's not actually about the champions he's against this game. He's actually pretty good into everything except for the Malphite. The issue about Lethality Varus here is the fact that you have to output all of the damage in team fights. As we talked about when we looked at the pro drafts, you are the carry on this team. You have to solo carry these team fights, and you picked a team fight comp around that idea. And without attack speed and on-hit damage on this Varus, you're not going to be able to execute that at all. And it's going to be really sad because this Varus is going to do really well. And honestly, even if they were even or ahead, I feel like this game is losing for them just because the Varus won't be able to output damage in team fights post 25 minutes. Not consistent damage, at least.
Yeah, they're gonna just try and have to either have a different carry in mind or just have to be able to do these nice pokes and then just take someone out of the fight completely.
But I ask you, who would be the carry other than Brand, maybe, right? Jarvan's building AD, thankfully, so that'll give them a little bit more damage, but that's still not consistent.
I'm sorry, there's going to be an attack going on to the tree here. There goes the Rek'Sai. He is going to be able to get the kill there. But Hunter, we are 6 for 6 on Infernal Soul.
Oh, we're fighting right now. Swain getting picked off.
So there's going to be a Swain going down to the Brand burn. The Jarvan does get the EQ combo ultimate going on. There's going to be the Brand ulti going out. More damage for his team here.
The AP damage too, apparently.
Yeah, he did get the Abyssal Mask first item here into the Maokai, so he's not going to take a lot of damage from the Brand. The only threat that he is really concerned about is possibly the Jarvan or the Varus.
Yeah, and that's... Well, he's Malphite. I don't think he's going to be very concerned about them for long. Once he starts getting some armor items and the W max, I don't know if he's maxing E or W second. He's maxing E second, so he will be quite a bit behind on max
There's
armor.
going to be a pick on to the Varus there. Going to get another kill over to Rek'Sai. Shut down going down on the Varus, and that's going to be another win for Credible Hulk and friends.
Yeah, more fights coming in around this map here. More kills going over to the side of Credible Hulk and friends. Luckily, the Brand did pick up the 550 gold shutdown onto the Swain. And that's probably where you want it right now. You want the extra damage coming out of your Brand, who is really gonna have to put on a hero performance to do enough damage in conjunction with the rest of the team to actually nuke targets down. Because I'm pretty sure even if you get the Malzahar ulti going down onto one of the carries on the side of Incredible Hulk, and you kill that target during that Malzahar ulti with no damage coming out in return, you still lose the 4 versus 5 right now. Just the Lucian will be able to dash in. Also, massive CS advantage for the Boris once again, by the way. The Lucians will still be able to be Lucian. The Rek'Sai super fed. The Malphite is going to start one-shotting people because top laners. And Swain is relevant. If you're not killing Swain, Swain's going to be able to win the team fight pretty much solo as well. You got to be really careful right now.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what's going to occur in the next couple phases, but we don't have a Dragon for another 2 minutes. And so right now they're just kind of looking for picks, trying to look for potential kills across the map. But it's going to be really hard. If the gold differential, even though it's 12-3, it's still not bad because of the CS difference. Now, the Malphite is going to be ulting onto the Maokai there. The Maokai will not be able to live from this Rek'Sai ulti, and then the Rock has the fade away with his Q.
Yeah, and it's really weird, too, to think about the fact that, right, as you said, the gold differential isn't even 1,000 despite the 10-kill lead right now, meaning that the CS differentials are so big that it's just counteracting all of these extra kills that Incredible Hulk are getting. It's currently 25 in the top lane, 55 in the bot lane, and 15 in the jungle, with a little bit back in the Swain's favor in the mid lane, but you're not looking to, let's say, win by spreading the gold around here. So, like, having extra gold on these champions is nice, but all the gold is funneled onto the important carries on Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, the Malzahar does get the ulti off onto the Rek'Sai, but the Swain does kill the Malzahar in time for the Rek'Sai to get out of the turret range and live with their lives.
Yeah. Also, really good to see the amount of pink wards in Incredible Hulk's inventory right now. The only person who's really sitting right now is the Swain having a refillable potion instead of a pink ward is a little bit of a tilter move right there. But I think a lot of people do it anyways because they're just like, but I have refillable. See, I don't have any inventory space. I don't have to buy the pink guys. Trust me, it's worth its weight in gold.
They're the carry, though. You don't need to buy pink wards if they're doing... Oh, he got pink wards.
Yeah, he got pink wards. And that's actually really great to see, and something I haven't touched on in many of our other games is looking down and seeing who's buying pinks. When you see 10 pinks in inventory for Incredible Hulk before they placed a couple of them, you know they know what they're doing here on the macro sense. They have an idea in mind. They're going for this dragon, looking to work towards an Infernal Soul. 6 for 6 on Infernals today. 6 for 6 on Infernal Souls, too, if we get the Souls today on this game.
It's going to be very interesting coming out here. They got the nice kill onto the Brand. They're going to be looking for another fight here. The Rek'Sai is going to be going on to the Maokai, but they are not going to be able to leave. But then we have the Swain ulting in, bringing them all back, and that's going to be a nice cleanup here. And easy kills over for Swain. He's massive right now. 7-1. Rek'Sai is also massive. She's 6-0. The whole team is just a giant unit, if you will. They are all popping up, and the score also shows this as well. 19-4.
Yeah, and just as you're saying there, like, it's 20 minutes. They're only picking up their second dragon now, so we have until at least probably 31 minutes before the Infernal Soul will come out for Incredible Hulk. So that might stall this game out a little bit and give them boys an opportunity to find plays, but I don't know what plays they're really looking for right now. When you draft a team fight comp against a team fight comp, fall super far behind in the early game, and then turn your only consistent damage source into a poke bot instead of consistent damage, well, you're just going to have a bad time in the rest of the game. I feel like they're really suffering for that right now because even though the Varus got super far ahead, they're not doing what they need to in these team fights just due to what their champion's capable of, due to the build.
Yeah, we're gonna have like a little bit of a lull state, I'm pretty sure. The Shelly is gonna be drop bot lane, and then the Swain's gonna just answer back. Gonna do some nice damage. I don't think the Maokai can really stand against the Swain here. He's gonna do his combo. Is gonna be healing quite a bit, actually. Swain gonna have to be ulting out. That is an unmovable tree from an unstoppable object. It's just not gonna be... I'm not sure who wins this, honestly. It's going back and forth, but Maokai just keeps healing. It's not Swain.
Maokai's sort of nutty right now. He has the Spirit Visage, and Swain's like, wait a second, I don't have Leandries yet.
He's gonna keep fighting though. They're not done quite yet. They keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
And
but you really need to put the Malphite in that Maokai. Like if you're split pushing like that, you cannot put the Swain against the Maokai because that'll just happen. Swain has to ulti for HP and healing to run away, despite being 7-1 versus a 0-5 Maokai. If anyone, this is how team comps work, by the way. Like, that is a microcosm of team comps. You can be 7-1 on this Swain, and the Maokai can be 0-5, but the Maokai still demolishes you in the 1v1. And this is a good analogy for how drafting good/bad team comps and good team comp matchups works, guys. So, like, if you have a team comp that just does everything better than the other team comp, which is sort of what's happening here on the macro scale because of the Varus not being able to output consistent damage, it wouldn't matter even if the score was flipped. Even if the score was flipped, as soon as they get an engage off, which is nearly impossible not to do because they have a Malphite, Credible Hulk and friends are probably going to be able to take the extended team fight. At least once they get 2 items, that'll be possible. But we don't live in that world. We live in a world where they have the better team comp, they have the advantage, they have the dragon advantage, they have the map control advantage, and now they have proper lane assignments. So, what are you going to do in the end of the day?
yeah, it's gonna be super hard for the side of them boys to really just come back and into this game here. At least they got that CS advantage, so it's not a huge disadvantage, but it's gonna be really hard to face against this Maokai. And we might even see a good team fight come out for the side of them boys if this Maokai can just be the unit that he is.
A weirdly large problem right now. I guess because both of the split pushers are AP and he's able to go Mertred's Spirit Visage. We do see the Rek'Sai going in looking for the engage, but a great smash coming out there, keeping him from being knocked up, and actually just great play from the Maokai. And the Baron's being started up, and this is their chance. They don't know what's going on.
They're gonna sneak this Baron for sure. They had that Rek'Sai show bot lane. They said, all right, let's make the call, let's make the play, let's go for Baron. And I think it's gonna go into their favor here. Swain is gonna be joining a little bit late to the party, immediately ulted by the Meltar and ulted by the Jarvan. Is gonna be shut down by the Varus there. That's got a lot of good money for him as well. 300 extra gold into the pocket of Varus.
So upset. That gold going on to the Varus would have been so good. If it wasn't going into more lethality, that's just going to get blocked by Maokai, or Malphite rather.
Rock.
Solid.
But yeah, honestly, the split push strategy that Dem Boys is enacting right now has been really effective at clawing their way back into this game. We now have an even gold game with a Baron buff on the side of Dem Boys, despite the 14 kill advantage. And that's really just a testament to how far ahead some of these lanes have gone in CS. And extra turret plates too, as well as the small turret advantage.
The goal difference is gone. It's an even game once again. And then they're going to be fighting. There is Swain, but down goes Brand to the Rek'Sai. Down goes the Malzahar. They are going to be looking onto Varus. There's the double kill onto Malzahar. There's the ulti from the Rock himself. Going down onto the tree, getting a huge triple kill over to the Rek'Sai. And now only one member of Dem Boys has the Baron.
let the disbelievers know. As a reminder, that was even gold team fight. 4-0. And the Malphite didn't even ulti until he ultied the Maokai at the end, obviously. But he didn't even have to ulti that fight. And this is what I mean about the differences in these team comps this game. When you make these errors in draft/building, you can't win this game without a 10k gold advantage. It's so difficult. And their team comp would be so good if they had the part they're missing. And I'm going to stop harping on the Forest build at this
There's
point.
going to be the engage onto the Rex side there, and a shutdown going over to the Malzahar, resetting his gold and giving him some extra money into his pocket there. 700 gold to be exact.
And look at how strong their team is, though. Even though the Malzahar was 0-8 and the Maokai is 0-6, they're still able to hold up in side lanes. They're still able to hold up and buy time in team fights. But there's nothing coming back. There's no damage to output. Brand is the highest DPS champion on your team, and he's gonna run out of cooldowns after his, first combo. And then he's going to get one-shot by something, probably the Swain or the Malphite or the Rek'Sai, who are all very, very strong as well. I'm actually curious to know where all of this gold is coming from. It's 1,500 in the bot lane, but I guess it's another 1,500 on the Brand as well. So that's really where all the gold's coming back into the side of Dem Bois, is just 3k gold advantage coming from their bot lane total. But that's not enough because the rest of the map is incredibly far ahead. 2k in the mid lane, 3 and 4k in the jungle, I think, actually. And more fighting
going
going
to be an
on.
engage onto the Varus there. There's the ulti going out onto the Rex side. The Varus is going to be needing to get away from the Swain. Swain's going to be ulting in, doing a nice Zanya's. Is going to max ulti explode very soon. Here comes the Malphite ulti. Is going to be able to get the Malzahar. The Lucian does get that. The Malphite does get the others, and then we get a nice double kill and a clean ace on the side of the Incredible Hulk and friends.
Incredible Hulk again with another 4-for-1, or 5-for-1 in fact this time, team fight. Looking to push down onto the inhib tower now at 28 minutes. No soul will be taken this game. I feel pretty comfortable saying this game will not go that long. Maybe it will, actually. It's only another 7 minutes, and that's not that unbelievable. But with the position Incredible Hulk is in, both compositionally and gold-wise now with the 5k gold advantage, massive Rek'Sai. Even though Rek'Sai is supposed to fall off, when you're this far ahead on Rek'Sai, you can keep it going for quite a while. Dodges out on the Varus ulti there as well. It's gonna be very hard for Dem Bois to find a route back into this game. I don't know what it looks like. Maybe it looks like Death Cap Voidstaff Brand. Maybe it looks like, honest to God, 5 to 6 items on every champion. But without that sort of point in time, I don't know what they're going to be able to do. And even if we get to 6 items, Swain sort of scales infinitely based on his passive. And no, you know what? If they find a way to stall this game out for 20 minutes, I don't know how they'll do that, but if they do, they can win this game. Because once you get to level 18 on everyone, 6 items on everyone, the Brand should be able to carry. The Varus will no longer be a champion, but that's okay. Maybe he'll start building useful items at that point in time.
So they are going to engage onto the Malphite here. It's going to take a lot of members to take down the Rock himself. He does have the 2 items, and then is slowly building into a Thorn Mail as well. I don't think there's a way to really kill him. And we do have the Dragon actually spawning soon. But we do see Incredible Hulk and friends posing for the Baron. They're opting out for the Baron instead of getting the Dragon here, and I think that's a better call.
Yeah, absolutely. With no soul point on the board here, it's a big play for them to be able to pick up this Baron for free, and they realistically, they should be able to end the game with
But the fight's coming in here, and there's no Rek'Sai.
They are coming very soon. They do get the Baron, and now this fight can change entirely. The Malzahar is caught out by the Swain. The Swain is going to be in the middle of their team, is going to be silenced, unable to move there. Malzahar is going to be able to get the kill onto the Swain. The tree is going to be able to get the Morgana, and then the rock is also going to fall as well. That is a 4-4-0 exchange on the side of Dem Boys, coming out large in that situation.
This is an opportunity for them to get back on the map. They still won't win a proper team fight, and Rek'Sai going in here actually going to pick up 2.
Double kill. He might even be able to get a triple here. There's the triple. Rek'Sai is very large this game. Is going to be trying to see if they can pick up more. Probably not. There's going to be the engage from the Maokai. There's going to be the engage from the
Jarvan.
From Jarvan here.
Maokai Zoom. Maokai is enough mana for one ability.
He is going in. He is going to try and grab the kill here, but is it going to be enough to stop the Rek'Sai? It is going to be enough, but is the turret going to be able to kill it? No, it is not enough, and the tree lives. But there's a flank coming in from Swain, coming in real fast. Going in onto the... Okay. He's fine. He's fine, folks. Totally fine.
Yeah, all right. So, Rek'Sai, large and in charge of their great play coming in. 1 versus 5 almost actually gets a pentakill. And if that doesn't show you the state of this game right now, I don't know what does. They pick up the amazingly fortunate 4-for-0 fight at the Baron there, with putting themselves on soul point. Dem Boys getting really exactly everything they possibly could have asked for in any sane world there. Other than Malzahar Voidling stealing Baron there, you got everything. And despite that, I'm still not sure. The gold has closed a little bit. There's a 3k gold advantage now for a credible Hulk, and that's all. But I don't know how they take the 5v5 still, because what happened in that team fight there is the Swain got completely separated from the entire team fight, got no damage down, died instantly. In the backside of the map, the Malzahar killed the Lucian just with an ulti 100-0. And all of this works together in cohesion there, and then they just cleaned up the Malphite. Malphite got a great ulti there, but there's no follow-up. And the Morgana just got chased down on the back end. And Rek'Sai wasn't in the fight. I don't know if he actually got really low off the Baron, so couldn't have realistically been in the fight. But being all of this together, that is the perfect scenario for them. And they won it, but then the Rek'Sai 1v5.
There's gonna be a Malzahar fighting the Rock himself, but you don't really want to take those fights in melee range against the Rock. And now they're gonna be going in on an engage here. They should be able to pick up the Malphite there. That's gonna be a nice kill going over to the side of the Brand, and we're going to see them slowly take away an inhibitor as well. Cracking open
that's not even slow, sir. That is quickly. They committed 5 people to the bot lane there just to pick that up, and hey, I mean, they get the kill on Malphite. They get maybe a shutdown. I didn't catch it. But is that really worth breaking the base? Maybe the base would have broken anyways. You bought a bit of split push resources. Once Malzahar is dead there, I guess you have to go for the play. But it's
Infernal is coming up here, so that's going to be a major fight this game.
I don't know if Dem Boys get it, if it changes anything. That's my concern. It'll help, certainly. It'll give them... It'll go from like a 10% chance of winning a straight up 5 versus 5 to maybe like a 20-25. But that's still not good odds. And you have to be playing that game right now. You have to be playing the percentage game. This Varus, full lethality, is going to be looking to one-shot people, but the only champions on the enemy team who can really one-shot at this point, the Lucian and the Morgana, are the 2 least useful champions. Like, the Rek'Sai and the Malphite and the Swain are the problem. And he's not going to be able to do any consistent damage to them just because of their armor and raw HP pool.
Alrighty, folks, I think this is going to be the fight that decides it all. we're gonna watch these two teams collide very soon. The tree's actually in the back line, just getting rid of that blast plant, but there's the rock for the flank. They do have them in a little bit of a choke point here. They're going to keep fighting. They do get the Morgana bind. There is the ultimate coming out from the Maokai. Going to be engaging back onto the Malphite. There goes the Jarvan is going to be taken out. The Morgana there. Swain's going onto the backline over and is going to be trying to take out the Varus out to the Brand. They are going to be able to kill the Jarvan. Big Swain ulti going to be solo killing onto the Brand. They are going to be looking for another kill. They do grab the kill on to the...
Oh, no.
Oh, there's the
Malphite
Malphite
didn't even
coming
have
in.
the ulti.
He does have
And-
the ulti now, and he's able to
Yeah.
clean up the kill onto the Varus. They are going to be looking for some inhibitors now, and I'm not sure if Maokai can really respond to this.
I
It might
think
even...
all he could have done is cut that wave, and he didn't manage to
He
do it.
stops the back, actually, and is going to be doing a 1v1 against the the tree himself. It's going to be interesting, just kind of stalling them out. The Lucian and
I'm
the
really angry
Rock
that
are
Malphite's
in
gonna
the
win this.
in the right. Now
I'm really
Maokai needs
upset.
to back, but is unable to back because there is a Rek'Sai on his face. Is going to keep fighting, is going to keep traveling. The brand is up, but they have taken both turrets, and the Nexus is going to fall. Down goes the Rek'Sai, but is it a little bit too late now? We're not too sure. They're going to be going on, and they do get the last couple hits, and we do see the victory come out for Incredible Hulk and friends.
All right, first honor the teams, then talk about what the heck Maokai is. All right, so really great job coming out of Incredible Hulk and friends, really putting their foot down on this game, and just they did a good job winning this game, and closing out this game really quickly, and using their early game, well, really quickly is probably not the correct word for it, but closing it out really efficiently, and using their early advantage that they got off of the Swain outplay in the mid lane to just shove down into the base and close this game over time. Also knowing when to go for dragons and when to trade it for things like objectives and barons. And just really good overall play from them. There's not too much to say. Everyone had a good showing overall. Certainly really impressed with Holk themselves, the name player of this team, with the Rek'Sai again. They will be my pick for MVP this game. Spoiler. As far as Dem Boys goes, I really want to see, like, I'm glad they gave their bot lane, who seemed to be very, very laning dominant, a power bot lane this game. And they really allowed them to do what they needed to do and get their massive advantage. We saw that once again come out this game, as it did last game. But the rest of the map, if you want to pick the Poke Varus brand lane, the rest of the map needs to abide by that. And they need to set you up in a way where that is the lane that you're playing. You need to have more consistent damage coming in from somewhere else, and you need to set up the entire game in a way where the Poke Varus is going to be viable. And I feel like Dem Boys have been really failing to connect all the dots in the draft phase, and it has been showing through in the way that they lose these games. Even though the gold advantages never get too bad, it just doesn't feel like they have the tools they need to win. My ace will go to the Varus this game, of course. Still great play coming out, but what can you do?
Very true, very true. Great game all around, great series, and fun matches to watch this game today, rather. And it was super fun streaming with everyone here today. Great seeing the Steel community come together and watching some games with us and just chit-chatting along here. And Hunter, do you have any final words before we sign off for the night?
Not too much, just the usual. Thanks to everyone who came out to the stream today. I know this is the first time we're streaming over top of LEC and LCS, and I'm really happy to see all of the people who showed up regardless. We are moving into playoffs very soon, so look forward to that. And otherwise, just a big thank you to the whole SEAL community, our producer, my co-caster Ryder here, and everyone who's a part of the tribunal and helps support us and make this thing a reality. Thank you. We couldn't